Hey everybody, welcome to Petite PD number 4 from the Rainbow Room. Today we're going to talk about Actively Learn and SeeSaw. These are two websites that are also apps that you can share with students and families. Actively Learn is great for resources as far as textual things that you want students to interact with the text and pause, that you can make notes on and you can annotate. Super easy to use, it goes by class code. You can set up students with an account in a class, or you can just have them make sure that they log in with the code. SeeSaw is actually, it encompasses a little bit more. It allows you to build portfolios and journals. It allows you to have students upload work directly to SeeSaw. They can interact not only with you, but with others. And there's other resources in there as well that you can share out and assign to students. So let's go ahead and we're going to get started. We'll start with SeeSaw, just because that one is an app, and you are going to be, there's two apps. There's SeeSaw Family, which is doesn't have as many options, and there's SeeSaw Class. So we're going to work with SeeSaw Class. The family option, I think, just shows it's more just the student side and the student work. It's a little bit simpler than the class app, which has a lot more options. So you do have to create a username, but it is free. There are premium features, but the free features work pretty well. I'm going to log in as a teacher first. I have a teacher account and a parent account because of my daughter, so I'm going to show you both. So when I log in with my teacher account, this is going to be the dashboard that comes up. So I'm going to show you and share my screen now. I'm all logged in. This comes up. You can see I've already set up one class, and we have some tools and some options here. So when we click here, this is going to be how I add assignments. Now I can post student work, I can assign an activity, or I can send an announcement. So if I post student work, there's several different ways I can do it. I could literally do it as a drawing, which brings up a whiteboard on my screen. And if I wanted to, I could then record over it while I'm creating my whiteboard. So this is an option as well that students can do as a way to show mastery in work if you wanted them to record. The other thing that I can do with this is I can upload. So if there are documents that you want to upload that you want students to interact with, you can do that. You can put in links. You can do videos if you're doing a screencastify on something, or you can do some photos and notes. So literally I can just type a note in there. It would be saved under there. I can then send it out as an announcement, or if a student was doing this, I would then have all of their notes. So a lot of the assignments that I'm seeing say, you know, take notes on this. This would be a great way for them to submit and share them with you. Take them directly in SeeSaw. So I'm going to close out of that. You also have the option of doing a student journal or a class journal, which is really cool. It's a collective of work, and I'll show you what that looks like from the student perspective. You can interact and have some correspondence with both students and families through this, send out messages or notifications. And then there is the option of skills. This is a premium feature, so we're not going to go over it. Under activities, though, there is an activity library. So you can then search for existing assignments or existing lesson plans. And you can search for a topic by grade level and see what's in there. You can see when you click on one, how stress affects your body. Very stressful time right now. We have some options here. And if we click, we can see some student directions. Tap the example, open the PDF. If I like this activity, I could then save it, and it will save it to my class, my library. So I could then assign it to a class, or I can assign it up here. This also tells us here that we're going to go to Google 3 images, and then I'm going to return to SeeSaw and tap add a response, so it breaks down exactly what to do. There's some tags on it for what it would be relevant for. And it's really great. And when you go to your library, you can then see your recent activities. And also, if I've liked or loved any of them, they'll be in there as well. Or I can create my own activity if I want to. So let's go back to my main page, my dashboard. And the other thing I'm going to show you is what the class looks like. It's really easy to create a new class. You select your school. You can also upload a QR code if you have like a list that you want to upload. And when you give this to students, it will generate a QR code. So that way you can have students just scan it and they instantly can join. So I'm going to show you what it looks like from, oops, sorry about that. I'm going to show you what it looks like from the parent and student perspective. So let me go ahead and, sorry about that. I'm going to sign out of here. So I'm going to sign in as a student now. And you can either use a code similar to like Kahoot, or you can use a QR scan. So I'm going to do the QR scan. And I'm actually going to click, I'm going to sign in as a student. So it's super easy for little ones or for older students. And you can see this is some of the work that has been uploaded. It's super easy to do. As a parent, I have the app on my phone, I click add, and this is what she worked on yesterday. We had did a little read aloud video for fluency. The teacher asked that we take a picture of the book title and the cover and then record. It will record for about 5 minutes. Another cool function is the teacher can upload a document and then the students can type right onto it, or they could use the pencil and do drawing right onto it. You can have video in here. This is an example of an activity where it was a read and record. And so one had bywords, but no. She just hit the button, recorded, and the assignment was complete. You can also assign activities. So we have some class activities that have been assigned. Students have chances to submit again if they'd like to. There's an inbox with class announcements. And then there's also this journal. The journal is kind of a really cool feature because that's where everything is housed. So when we're thinking about portfolio building, this is a super easy way to keep all of the work collected together in a portfolio. Things can be liked by others. You can tag students or show different students for an assignment. And again, if I wanted to then just add something, this pops up. It's a super easy way to have students interact. You don't necessarily have to worry about taking screenshots and email and doing everything back and forth. Everything would be housed in here, shared out through here, and collected through here. So that is SeeSaw. The next site I'm going to show you is Actively Learn. And Actively Learn is actually free for the remainder of the school year because of COVID-19. You do want to have an account, so you want to sign in. You can do it through Google. But Actively Learn is a great website for different literacy skills that you're working on or content-specific things that you're looking for resources for. They have some high-interest articles, so if you're having trouble engaging students during this virtual world, there may be some things that you know that they're really interested in, and so you can include those in their assignments. You can again search, so you can look at units, you can search by genre, you can see for specific themes that you want. If you want some nonfiction with news and articles, it breaks that down. And the cool thing is you can also search by Lexile level. So I'm just going to select something, and I think we need some good news, which is the 4 bright spots amid the gloom of COVID-19. And you can see this one has a video that goes with it. It does also give ideas for teaching. There's some directions for them. And then there's extra help here. There's polls built in. There's the text that highlights certain things and will show some key extra help or tips or tricks or things to think about. And what will happen is when you're on the student end of this, I cannot move on until I answer question 2. So you can see it's just a really cool way to have an interactive text. You can then assign this. You can customize it. So if I wanted to delete some of their questions and add in my own, if I wanted to add in some of my own comments on the side, I can do so. Just really simple. I can view the notes, the questions, and I can also print this. So if you do have kids that are not using digital devices, or if your school is doing more packets, then this is a great way that you can still provide them with an interactive text, because you can print out the extra help notes and you can print out everything that goes along into a PDF. They can print it at home or they can come pick it up. You can also share and add some text settings and different things like that. When I am ready and I want to add this assignment, then I just do assign. And I have a class that I already set up. This is the class code. So this is what students would use. I'm going to assign it. I can immediately share it to Google Classroom, so it is integrated. Or I can also copy this link to the clipboard. So if I'm using Canvas and I want kids to go to Actively Learn and interact with this text, I can just copy this link and it will take them directly there. When I am in here, I can actually also show you the professional learning section. So this actually has different options for higher order questions and different things that you can then interact with. There's also a student library here. So again, you can search for different things and you can see your classes. It does collect student data and class data. So it will show you, I haven't added students, but it would show you, you could grade things in here if you wanted to. And then the last thing that you can do, if you go to settings, is you could have small group. So you could have some reading settings, you could have small groups that you pull. There could be co-teaching activities going on. There's just a lot of flexibility with Actively Learn. So that's those 2 resources for today, Actively Learn and SeeSaw. 2 really great resources. One thing I would suggest is if you are collecting different resources to use with your teacher or your students, make sure that as teachers we're not overwhelming them. Maybe roll out 1 new thing a week. Make sure that you're always being very clear on how to access that, so step-by-step process. If you can keep like 1 class code that they could always use, that makes it easier. And if you can record a video like this where you demonstrate how you log in and how you get started and how to actually do the process. That way, when they are interacting with whatever you want them to and completing any activities that you want, you're really seeing what they have mastered rather than if they're getting tripped up on the process. Thanks so much for your time. I really miss seeing you guys and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.